It's all about quality and quantity on Brewsday Tuesday. Here is Huck and Big Nate.
Go. There you go. Welcome into another round of Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store. We are camping, sort of. And when I say sort of, I mean we're not staying overnight because.
Oh, you're not, but I am. I didn't meant to tell you.
That's
spending the night at the radio station.
Fine by me. I'll get you a key. We have a shower.
I got a shower. Just need the Wi-Fi password.
I gave you the Wi-Fi password. Did it not work?
Thing when you're camping.
I remember the phrase. I can never remember.
I got it.
Exact
I'm just saying
spelling.
that's pro tip. You go to a brewery or somewhere, you're going to spend a night, get the Wi-Fi password.
How often have you camped actually at a brewery?
50, 60 times.
Because that to me would be the ideal scenario. There was it's one of those things. The second Fast and the Furious movie. Yes, we are bringing up the Fast and the Furious movies on Brewsday Tuesday. That's where we're at now.
I don't even know about them though. I've only seen one.
One of the characters was on house arrest, but he loved driving in the Demolition Derby. So he parked a camper right outside the Demolition Derby, and that was like his permanent residence. So he would just go back and forth. I was like, what the hell are you doing with your life? But I could see that working with a brewery.
But what about you brought this up? So what about the trailer demolition derby? Have you seen those?
Where Nights of Destruction with the school buses and everything?
No, just trailers.
Well, yeah, they have trailers, but they also have the school bus races.
Like I'm talking about the whole trailer thing. And then it's like after a while, people just start running into the other guy's trailer. And then some of them, they have to back up the whole way.
Well, I feel like that's more unsafe. I mean, it's already unsafe, but
I don't know. It's
kind of cool.
Like fun to me.
When I was a kid, I always fantasized about driving the Demolition Derby. I was never a great driver, but I was like, I could probably wreck some cars.
Well, they used to do it at Eastside Speedway in Waynesboro. Dooms, actually, I think. But it makes sense that the place that the Demolition Derby is called Dooms. But in any case, that's cool. But it hadn't always been like this. I started out way back then, we had a tent. No, we had a pickup truck. Well, when I was a kid, we had my dad had a trailer. It was called Rely Art, and that's trailer spelled backwards. The thing was closed. It was like 14 by 8, and open. It was like 25. It was a pop up.
Yeah,
but it's huge. It had like a king size bed on one end, a queen size bed on the other, and 2 beds in the middle. And there's 6 kids. So I guess when we started, there were like 4 kids. Then there were 6. So by the time there were 6, I'd usually sleep in a hammock in a tree or a little tent. So that's how I grew up. I was a Boy Scout. I hiked a lot. But then when I got married, my wife told my wife she'd never camped much. And I said, "You want to go camping?" She goes, "No, I'm not going to work that hard." And I said, "I'll do everything." So we'd go camping in the back with the pickup truck, and we would sleep in the back in a mattress with the kid. Then we graduated to a tent, and the back of the pickup truck corral the kid. And then the best story though was we were out at Bugs Island Lake. We're on the point camping, and we decided to make spaghetti. Well, the lake's famous for thunderstorms, so we started boiling the water for the spaghetti, and all of a sudden here comes a storm, and the storm comes across the lake, and basically we crawled up in the pickup truck, shut the door, watched everything go away, all our tents, everything.
What about the spaghetti?
The spaghetti, we came out, it was not boiling, but it was still there, and we were cooking on a fire.
Yeah.
So we dumped the water out, most of it, and we got it all ready, started the fire back up, found a tent in the woods, put it back up. Our neighbors went to the store to buy another tent because theirs went in all the way in the lake. And the water starts boiling, we drain, we pour the spaghetti sauce in, and here comes that storm around for a second attack. And so it's like, in the end, we were eating cold spaghetti, cold, watery spaghetti. So that's every time the weather's coming in, we're like, we're going to make spaghetti, because we know that you can't do what you did. It never happened again. So we'll yell that spaghetti storm, spaghetti.
So I mean, I feel like that's so identifiable. I kind of grew up. I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I grew up similarly, kind of camping with the dad. We never had a trailer. We never had an RV. It was always tents. And every few years, Dad's like, "Let's go camping again," and it never ever works out. I think on the most recent camping trip I went with my dad, my stepmom ended up washing the cast irons when we returned in the dishwasher and had to get a whole new dishwasher.
Oh, mercy.
Cast iron was fine
Yeah,
because they're
They're
damn
fine.
durable, but it's just.
No, my
the-
dad was a DuPont engineer, so we could always camp out on the point, and then he would make these windbreaks out of tarps and stuff. It'd be geometric shapes, and there'd be a hurricane coming across the lake
You
back
would
then.
notice.
And we're sitting, the kids are all, and everybody had 6 kids, all these families, the G families, the DuPont families, they're all there, and we'd all be playing canasta under this huge tarp tent thing my dad built. There'd be like 12 kids with 2 picnic tables playing canasta, 14 decks. And that's what we do during the rain.
Engineers are important. That's
They are.
my
It's
dad's.
amazing. I don't do that. I put the awning out sometimes. I hang tapestries.
Let's
from
say
it.
that's
That's
all you
hard
really need.
work.
It is, and I mean by that point, like, all right, I'm getting thirsty. Like, if we add more steps to this,
Yeah.
that whole, like you were saying earlier, you can't have the beer until you get the
Right.
tent set up. I was like, well, if I start adding extra steps to this, we're gonna be waiting a while.
Well,
and
anyway,
that's
so
not
we went
okay.
from that to a Eureka tent, which was great, and then we went to a pop up for years. 2007, I think we bought the pop up. Maybe it's 97. Yeah, 97. We bought the pop up, and that lasted till like 2010 when I bought an old RV. Not like this one, and it barely ran. We fixed it up, sold that, got another one. And this is the last one. And like Nate was kind of laughing, so I pulled up in the parking lot here, and I went, nee, and it levels.
Yeah, I mean
And then I went, nee, in the living room, it gets bigger.
it's an incredible machine. So I've got to ask, because you've definitely, since I've known you, you've kind of gone through beer V's. Is this the last one?
Oh no, absolutely not.
So like we should, before we go further, we should talk about what we're drinking, because
Oh yeah, I'm
there is a
drinking
story to this.
the Truly Citrus Punch Hard Seltzer.
And I've got the Truly Fruit Punch. So that was something that came from my childhood, is when we would go camping, it was always either the high C juice boxes or the Capri Sun, the pouches. And I always thought, well, as an adult, like, what's the equivalent? And I think
Yeah, these kind of are.
these definitely absolutely are. So I brought them. I don't know how good they're going to be or how much we're going to enjoy them, but definitely a bit of nostalgia there for me.
Well, the next time we'll have to do, because when I was a kid, we had Kool-Aid, which I don't know if you young people, it's in the 60s. And the Kool-Aid pitcher, they fill it half full of sugar, water, and
Yep.
1 pack of Kool-Aid. Then you stir it, stir it, stir it. Every time you want a glass, you have to stir that sugar up off the bottom.
Because it does not dissolve fully, because
No,
there's
no.
a saturation point of sugar,
Right.
and
But they always put that much in there.
people do that with sweet tea as well, and it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, it's definitely not a healthy choice. I do have to ask, what's your favorite Kool-Aid flavor?
Oh, probably grape.
Grape.
Yeah, grape
Mm.
Kool-Aid. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the blue raspberry. Anything blue. Give
Yeah,
me anything
back then we
blue.
only had grape and cherry. Lots fewer choices.
That's
We had exchange students back in I guess it was probably in the 90s. And we picked him up. We were camping at Bugs Island Lake. And we're like, he's from Hungary. We're like, welcome to America. Here's your tent. But we stopped at the grocery store on the way back after picking him up at the Raleigh airport, because we had him fly in there. We were at the lake, Bugs Island Lake. And we stopped at the Raleigh, and he kept leaving while we're shopping. He'd disappear. Every time I went over there, he's in the cereal aisle. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, in Hungary, we have 3 kinds of cereal.
Oh, good
Because
Lord.
you have 14 kinds of Cheerios. Because I've never seen anything like this. So it's all about perspective,
Yeah.
baby.
No, I mean, to a certain degree, we're roughing it right now.
Right. Yeah, the big buses. Oh my God. 50 amps, sometimes 2 50 amp circuits. Okay, the thing that we don't like about this one compared to the other two is it doesn't have the front bed over the seats. So for a while, my granddaughter was sleeping on.
So do you mean a bed above the
Yeah,
seat?
most of
Good
them have a bed there. They have 4 beds. This has 3.
At what point do we stop handing these to just average citizens?
No, everybody should have one.
Some people are bad drivers.
Yeah, but these make me a better driver. First of all, let me explain. I can't go as fast as I do in my Jeep. I can't go off road. I can't change lanes rapidly. I'm a much gentler driver, and it's carried over to my other vehicles. But you're sitting up here like a truck. You can see the road. They're really not that hard to drive. But anyway, that's the only thing in this one I would change. I mean, there's a few other things I wouldn't mind having if I upgraded again, which I will.
I mean, you've got
every
the
3 or
Wi-Fi,
4
which is
years.
insane.
I'll sell this for more than I paid for it, and I'll buy another one. Yeah, I have the Wi-Fi Ranger that picks up Wi-Fi signals up to 2-3 miles away.
Good
If
lord.
you have the password, you can use them. Then I have what's called a Wii Boost. That red box on the dash is a Wii Boost, and that boosts cellular signal like times 10. So that moves from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle. Whatever I'm in, that goes. I have the antennas mounted in the inside and outside, and the power supply. So all I do is grab the red box, go to the next vehicle, and plug it in, and I can drive through Catawba Valley and have phone. You go to West Virginia, and if you when you go outside, there's a black antenna about this tall on the front RV. That's what every pickup and truck in West Virginia has one of those antennas.
Because
everybody's like, "What's that?"
You never know where you'll drop signal. It's insane. I mean, I've been fortunate to have not run into a situation where I've needed it, but it's amazing to me that like we've become so dependent on having that cellular signal.
Well, it's even like my watch tracks my sleep, but it won't tell me what it was unless I can get on the internet, which I find ridiculous. But in any case, so yeah, another pro tip is AT&T, which I don't have, is the most widespread internet, especially in rural areas. I have Verizon. It's really good in most places. When I get back to really traveling, which is like a couple weeks a month, I will buy another hotspot, AT&T. But actually, I signed up for the satellite. Elon Musk hasn't sent me my equipment yet.
A jerk.
Oh, I probably need to change my address with him.
He sent it to someone else. So another thing that's important when you're camping, and part of why we're doing this is camping snacks. And of course, you have the classic, the staple s'mores. And while we are setting up to make our s'mores here in the Beer V in the lap of luxury, I want to tell a story about a time when I did not have the lap of luxury. Floyd Fest 3 years ago.
I was gonna say this year I could have helped you out.
3 years ago, we were out at Floyd Fest. We had brought a grill. We had run out of propane. The local store, I'm not going to name the store because that wouldn't be very nice. The local store had run out of propane, and I wasn't going to put charcoal in the grill, so I grabbed a couple of those. You know when you're catering and you've got those heat gel. Yeah. So we cooked hot dogs. If you go back through the Bears Facebook page, if you're so inclined, you can find pictures of me trying to cook hot dogs on these catering gels, and it took damn near forever. And they didn't get cooked; they got warm. So thankfully, the Beer V, in fact, has a gas stove.
So there's like 3 ways to do marshmallows. I already see what Nate's way is. He's going straight in.
You got to put it directly in the fire.
No, I'm a gently brown it. Oh, I got fire. Hold on.
You should always have fire.
No damage.
But your s'more needs to have chocolate. I wasn't going to make hot dogs today. It needs to have a nice char. It caramelizes well, and
I was wondering why the air conditioner wasn't working so well. I can see how hot this fire is.
Then it melts, and you have a s'more.
So you got to have 3 segments of chocolate, 1 whole graham crapper, 1 graham crapper.
You don't want a graham crapper.
Get your graham crapper.
Pretty positive that's
break
not an
your
option.
crapper in 2, and then you try to slide it out.
So I found it easier. You get these extendo forks. They're a great invention. If you just shorten it, then you can.
All right. So here we go.
You're trying to go like a long arm, like a snooker.
Well, I'm about to put it in my mustache. So there's that.
Yeah, this is going to be a mess. I am sticky already. That's part of camping. In case you didn't know, if you're not sticky at the end of it, did you really camp?
That is so good. If you have never had a s'more, shame on you. Like I say, we can do it. You can do it right here.
And Hungary, they only have 3 types of cereal.
They only have 3 types of s'mores.
And they have no camping snacks.
I was trying to do a thing where I was going to send a container of Little Debbie cakes to Hungary. That is his favorite thing. But Little Debbie wouldn't let me do it because they said they wouldn't be fresh. And I was like, have you been to Dollar General? You got somewhere there not so fresh. But no.
What weird quality control.
And then I found out that in order to get stuff to Hungary, you had to pay off the mafia in Germany to get it unloaded and shipped.
All right. That makes sense. So we've had our camping snack. My God.
Yeah.
I haven't had a s'more in years. This is I'm so glad I made this decision. This was all the vehicle to make s'mores in your RV, by the way. There was nothing to do with drinking. All the camping stories are made up. I just really wanted s'mores.
Very good.
That's not true. I have had some disasters camping, but we should definitely rate this seltzer. And you know what? Come to think of it, we picked a terrible segment to do this because I'm pretty sure fruit punch doesn't go with s'more.
Well, let's see if citrus punch does. It's fine. So the citrus punch, and I've had that one. It's not as bad as that, but still, it's like a 375. Okay, I get it. They're trying to attract people who like the sweeter drinks. I'm not them.
Okay, so this tastes exactly like high C fruit punch. The well, it is the fruit punch seltzer from Truly.
That makes sense.
5% ABV. I don't really like fruit punch. Full disclosure, there's that nostalgia there, and that's only going to get it a point. In total, on Untapped, I'm probably going to have to give this a 2. I will not be buying this again. I will not be drinking this again, but I'm glad we did it. That's part of camping, is learning what you do and don't like.
I kind of told you that when you said you were going to
You
drink
did.
that.
You
Like,
definitely
that's
won
not
it.
good.
It's
It's good for people who like sweet drinks. It's a sweet drink.
pretty sweet. How much
Very
sugar is in it?
Who
It has
Is it-
only 1 gram of sugar.
I don't know.
That's what it claims. But that being said, he's Huck's Beer Buzz on Untapped. I am Big Nate Danger. That's going to do it for this segment of Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the
We're
Cellar
gonna go
Restaurant
take
at
a
6 next door.
shower, get all this chocolate.
Yeah,
off
we're going to
us.
get the marshmallow and the chocolate off, and we will be back because why
You
the
got
hell
one
not?
more.
One more on Brewsday Tuesday on 105.3 The Bear.